Now, in much of the country, summer's peak season for buying and selling homes. And if you're a seller, that means making your place look as perfect as possible.
Yes, that's why people who stage homes say less is more. If your stuff is cluttering up the space, buyers can't see past it.
So if you're getting your house ready for the market, prepare to pare down. That's our featured story at the top of the list. It's the stuff that makes your home feel homey. The lumpy futon you've had since college, or that foosball table held together with duct tape. But bad news, the people who stage homes for quick sale have told realtors what they really want, and it's not looking good for your dogs playing poker painting.
Most professional stagers will want everything out of the house.
I met up with Trevor Halpern, CEO of Halpern Residential, at one of his listings.
They want a blank slate.
Of course, not every seller can afford to hire a staging company. So we're running down what pro stagers hate about your home. And pull up your big kid pants, because this is going to be brutal. But this first one's all elbow grease. Declutter.
Yes, you use your coffee maker every day, but it's 36 years old. Put it under the sink. The less you have from a clutter standpoint, the better.
Decluttering lets people assess the space in the home.
Unbroken horizontal lines are the best things that you can do as a seller. Buyers' eyes will get tripped up on the stuff that you have on the counters as opposed to the counter itself. Their eyes will get tripped up on the things on the walls. Their eyes will get tripped up on a light bulb that is burned out. So very low-hanging fruit.
The problem is you become blind to your own clutter.
So when you walk in the house, you may not notice that box that's been sitting there for months because it's just part of your everyday thing.
So put an outsider's eyes on your space.
If you had a friend or someone come in and say, hey, put your buyer's hat on, what should I get rid of here? What catches your eye? They may go, well, what about that box under the piano? And you're like, oh my gosh, that's been sitting there for months. I'd totally forgotten about it.
Just look right past it.
Next, get rid of plants that aren't perfect.
There were 3 dead leaves in the corner, and what did that do to them subliminally? They thought about death.
Look, it's a little pot of death. If a houseplant has brown leaves, cracked leaves, droopy stems, or doesn't look like a fake plant in its absolute perfection, get it out of the house. Because potential buyers won't even know it was the plants that bothered them.
Little subliminal things can pop into consumers' minds. They may walk out of the house and say, I don't know what it is about that house, I just don't like it. Selling a house is sociology and psychology as much as it is anything else.
This next one's kind of sad, but you might want to hide your books.
Because depending on what you like to read, it may be political, it may be historical, and in this world, it's highly divisive. You don't want to cut your audience in half. You want to be as harmless as you can. You want as many offers as you can get. You don't want people coming in and going, oh, these are these types of people. I'm not going to put 100 grand profit in their pocket.
I see they have Kierkegaard on the shelf and I'm a Kant man.
Yeah, who do they think they are?
Finally, stagers want you to depersonalize the space, although there is some wiggle room on this one.
There's a fine line that you walk as a seller between personalizing the home too much and depersonalizing too much. Sometimes you can walk into a house and you'll see a wall full of family photos. That's too distracting. But sometimes you walk into a house and you see a couple family photos. It's a family house that's been lived in for 35 years, right? And that is probably what the consumer coming in to buy it is like. And you want them to feel that there's love in this house.
The better thing to do, though, is just go buy the frames that have better looking families than you and put those in there.
Getting rid of the stuff professional stagers hate is at the top of the list.